Hello and welcome to the Peak Millennials podcast. I'm Collins.
And I'm Natalie.
Each week we will delve deep into various Peak Millennial topics, exploring what we remember
and what we want to forget.
And reading some captivating stories that will evoke a sense of deja vu in all of us.
This is the age before iPhones and the social media that we know today.
And this is where a good mixed CD, silver eyeshadow, and MTV raised us.
So crack open your Jones soda.
And kick off your black Converse.
And let's teleport back to the world of the Peak Millennials. Make sure to send your stories to peakmillennialspod@gmail.com and or slide into our DMs at peakmillennialpod on Instagram. That was way too much.
And like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. This week, we have a special guest. Uncle Mike is joining us for week 3 of our Elder Millennial series. Uncle Mike, hi.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Mike Brick, and I go by It's Uncle Mike B on Instagram, Threads, all over. Much to my wife's chagrin, she has never liked the uncle or the B part. It's a whole thing. She can probably, I have a booming voice. She can hear me in the bedroom right now, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't like it."
That's all right.
I love that so much.
So I
tell
was.
us about your shirt.
So I have the this is the second issue of the Doors hoodie version from Roosevelt's RSVLTS. They make a whole bunch of really awesome licensed Disney, Universal, what else? Universal Monsters. There's SpongeBob. I have a Scooby-Doo one. Everything under the sun. Top Gun. I got 2 Top Gun ones.
I love
which
it
really,
so much.
really confuses Canadians because you're walking around with like ultra Americana, and I have a tattoo with the U.S. flag on my leg, and they're like, "We don't know. You sound like us. You look like one of them. We're confused and scared." I don't fully understand it. Things have gotten testy up here too. It's not just. I should mention that I'm Canadian. That informs my story a little bit. I was actually I'm 41 now, and during that stupid thing that happened a few years ago, I was working as a union rep for healthcare workers. My wife and I both got long COVID. I've lived with depression. Oh, there's one of our kitties. This is Zoe, and she ran away. There we go. We got long COVID. I've always had ADHD and depression and anxiety. It decided, cool, we're just going to rewire all of that for you. In the middle of all of that, I had no ability to focus, no ability to handle stress, no ability to deal with conflict. Which, believe it or not, if you're a healthcare union rep for healthcare workers during a global pandemic, these are all things that become very, very important.
Seems like some very important things
that,
some prerequisites that you might need for those things.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll skip over the part covered by non-disclosure agreement and move right to where I don't work for that job anymore. And of course, nothing bad that they did had anything to do with that whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Never.
And decided at 40 that I wanted to open a company in Central Florida. My wife and I have always loved Disney. I credit people in Central Florida with helping me stay alive. I credit Disney's Hollywood Studios with being the reason why I'm not dead. That's a whole story. But we wanted to move down there. We had a plan to spend about $100,000, employ Americans, And not to get too into it, but during the last 2 or so years, that plan became harder and harder and harder. And then this January, the day that Renee Good got shot, we decided we're going home. So we packed the cats up into the car and got our two of our best friends to help us drive basically 2.5 days almost straight
Jeez.
to get back to the other side of the border, and figured shit out. So now I went from doing sort of tourism related stuff in Central Florida to now I'm doing stand up comedy, and I'm actually opening a small company. It's not up yet, but doing what's called mental health first aid. So I want to help
Oh, wow.
train folks to, because I mean, more than just my job, the labor movement
Hmm.
was a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And to not get too much into the details of it, I lost a lot of friendships. I lost a lot of people who I considered close to me throughout all of that. But I needed to find a way to, because there's, I've lived through it. I'm a survivor of mental illness, and
Hmm.
we need to, in all seriousness, and I'm serious for about 5% of my entire life. But in that 5%, I want people to know that they matter, and that is the basic fundamental is if we look at each other as human beings who matter, I think that we begin to find the world being a little less hellish. But
Amen.
yeah, that's my rant. So I'm here in Toronto, looking out over. You can actually see the World Cup stadium from my balcony here. So
That's
Cool.
oh, how
we're ready to
cool.
we're ready to welcome the world this summer. And if anyone's coming into Toronto and wants to see some stand up comedy, look me up on Instagram.
That sounds so
I'm at the
cool.
point in my career where I am just all self promotion. Just like, hey, how's it going? Have you heard I do comedy?
Well, I appreciate you taking your time to join us today. So, you are an elder millennial, which
Absolutely.
honestly, we could learn things from. We are both, uh, how old are we,
I'm
Natalie?
38.
30s?
Yeah,
Oh,
38.
you're because I'm still
You're
youthful
still
of 37.
37. You're still 37.
But there were definitely holes in our journey to figure out the peak millennial life,
Yeah.
Mhm. And one of the biggest, like,
right?
oh, we
And there are
lost you.
definitely places that don't lose me. I don't know what's happening. I'm still here, but we definitely have holes in our peak millennial stratosphere. So last week we touched a little bit on pop culture, identity, and everything, and I'm really glad that you are talking about mental health because we are both mentally ill.
Indeed. We are also mentally ill.
We
So,
are mentally ill. Honestly, I am full fledged live laugh Lexapro over here. So we love some mental health discussions. So if you're ready, we're gonna ask you questions, and I hope that
Absolutely.
you're I hope that you're ready for it. Okay, so. We talked about last week about like celebrities representing specific generations, but I want to know what's something that younger people romanticize incorrectly about the late 90s and early 2000s, in your opinion?
Ooh.
Just giving you a
Um.
hardball there.
throwing hard questions.
um. So I think if I want to get like hyper specific, I think
Yeah.
Warp Tour specifically gets a lot of romanticism
Yeah.
that
Dang.
skips over quite a lot of required context in the essay, and younger children being given things they shouldn't be given by bands who were too damn old to know. Um, you know,
Hmm.
there's a reason it went away. And I was in Orlando when it came back last year, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast. But it was wild talking to people who, and like, one, I loved seeing like kids in their 20s rocking out to stuff that I was like, oh my god, this permeated. Cool. Okay. We like that. But a lot of them just had no concept of the controversies, and I'm crapping on Warped Tour.
Please, we
The
crap on it a lot
concert,
here.
the
right.
concert and festival ecosystem throughout the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a lot of shit that people were getting away with that,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know,
I just thought
it's
it was-
interesting. Oh, go ahead, Natalie. It's fine.
We do this all the time.
Yeah, we do.
But I mean, like, I think to touch on what you'd said, it is truly romanticized in the fact of like you or I or Collins, even like my Danielle, who was on last week, she also had gone to Warped Tour. But I think that we think about like all of the like really good things, like being able to see like all of the, you could be there all day long and you could see all of your favorite artists. You could do like meet and greet situations, and it wasn't like as fucking like, sorry, but like it's not as expensive as it is now, like to get VIP or to like have a meet and greet, if that's even an option, because for concert going now, like meet and greets don't typically happen really at all anymore, unless it's like a really small indie artist. But you could do all of those things, but all of the like shady bad stuff that was also going on clearly wasn't talked about. But it's like the dehydration, the overpriced snacks and drinks, and the sun exposure, and all of like the drugs, the old like the groups that were being fairly inappropriate, to
the creepy old men who showed up to be predators on young women. Let's just say what it is. No,
and so, I mean, there's all of those things too, and I think that it's like, because as a millennial in general, things have been very shitty throughout forever, our entire lifetime. We want to hold on to like those happy like ideals. So I mean, it's kind of a weird catch-22 where you're like, there was a lot of shitty stuff that was happening that was really gross and nasty. So like, can we just keep like the good stuff where like I could see 6 bands in a day before I was too tired? But like, anyways, go ahead.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, I just remember a lot of Warped Tour is like my parents would just drop us off, or we would get a ride with some guy that we met at Hot Topic, like, and I gave him like $10 for gas money. Like,
that was like being dropped off at the
14 years old. Yeah.
Did you ever go to
no business
shows
being 14-year-old? Yeah, I went to the Roxy. That's a seedy place.
Okay, so like, just so that you know, my Collins and I grew up like in the same town. We went to she went to different like elementary, middle school than I did. But we met in high school. But a lot of the same things that we all did like in this same small town, where if you labeled it as Christian
military
activities,
town.
You could label things as Christian rock band, and then your parents would be like, "Oh yeah, you could totally go. Like, that's totally okay." Is it about Christ? Yes. Oh, Christ. Okay.
I'm not aware of anything bad ever being done in the name of religion. No.
What?
Yeah, never.
What?
No. Just
Uh,
net
my
net
first-
positive.
Yeah. I think my first Warp Tour was like 2003, and it was literally my brother had met someone at Hot Topic who was looking for people to take to Warp Tour. Little did I know that I was being also recruited to do the merch for some local band. And I barely know how to count money, let alone like be responsible for someone's like money box. And I had to sit under this tent for 8 hours to sell like 3 items of merch. I'm hearing like in the distance, like, oh, that band is playing. I really wanted to go see them. But I guess I paid some 20-something-year-old guy gas money so that I can man his merch tent. But you know what?
What a deal. What a deal you got.
What a deal. But it's like I love those experiences, but definitely like I've had an experience where going to Warp Tour and like that's where we were doing drugs and definitely went into a tour bus that I was with people and they went into a back room and I'm the funny fat friend. So I'm sitting at the table talking to the tour manager going, I know that my friend is having sex with a 20-something-year-old and we are underage. But nobody's talking about it.
Yep.
And also mentioning with Warp Tour of like, I idolized Johnny Craig. Johnny Craig, he actually had a series of alleged things that were happening, and I don't think it was until like 2015 that he was caught like assaulting like his merch person who was underage. So it's like he went unchecked, and I'm over here like swooning. Ooh, he's so cute. What?
I think every millennial has like at least one celebrity that we've defended at some point and then been like, oh, okay, that was no, that was a mistake there. Should have moved on from that. Oh boy. And at least one story where you're like, we probably shouldn't have lived through that. Like that plays out again, and bad things happen because I know I had one where we were driving to a concert, and I would have been 20 years old. We're driving from just outside Toronto to Ottawa through the middle of frickin' nowhere, following my friend who lives up in the Ottawa area and drives like a bat out of hell. She goes to pass a logging truck as a cloud of road dust gets kicked up. And the person driving this car I'm in just goes into the void. And I'm just like, that could have been, that was a headline right there. That, like I want to see Nickelback, but I don't know how much I want to see Nickelback.
I can tell you that I don't want to see Nickelback that much, friend. I don't.
Well, so you have to understand Nickelback. I know Nickelback went through a vast sort of like up and down in image everywhere, but in Canada they went through an even starker one. Because first this is how any artist of any kind in Canada, this is what happens. You get big enough to be well known across Canada, but you're never fully taken seriously because you're like, well, have they gone to the US yet? Then they go to the US, and then everyone hates them because they sold out. Until they start coming back and touring in Canada again, in which case they're like, oh my God, we knew these guys when they were playing at the Legion, and they're awesome now. So we had that whole up and down, and then the whole up and down of everything sounds the same. And then Ryan Reynolds came in and was like, you know what? We've always kind of liked Nickelback. And then everyone was like, well, actually, kind of we did. And then now we're kind of at the place where everyone's like, I don't know. They still seem
Ryan
like
Reynolds,
jerks. I don't.
Ryan Reynolds is like the guy that makes all the decisions in Canada.
Well,
like-
certainly for my generation, I think that's the moral compass we look to. We look
okay.
to Van Wilder for our guidance.
Oh, I love
And-
that movie. Okay, but like there are aspects of that movie that would never fly in today's.
Sorry.
the eclairs.
The eclairs.
Good Lord!
That's it. That's
What
it.
are you doing to that dog, man?
That dog, yeah, that movie is wild.
See,
I haven't
that's a
thought
great
about that
movie.
movie in ages.
That's a great movie to take a 50 milligram gardening gummy and
No,
yeah, that's what
my
I'm gonna
limit
go
is
do.
25, friend. My limit is 25. I get paranoid. I get a little crazy.
Listen, I love it. So something I've also seen, I did want to touch into that younger people romanticize a little bit about the late 90s and early 2000s is the fashion. Okay, they look at like they just see like the good, like all the what the models were wearing, and I just think of like, okay, do you guys realize that like what we wore every day was just what we already wear now? It hasn't changed.
No,
I want one of those T-shirts that had the long sleeves stitched into the short sleeves. That was fantastic. I think that was peak, because then the good thing for me, I've always been a fat ass, is that like I'm not dealing with multiple layers.
Oh God, I hate
So like I can be cool and cool, and I enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. The rise of Old Navy, that was a lot of fun too.
Yes.
To watch any kind of enduring fashion go directly out the window.
Speaking of Old Navy, I am a
Does it have an American flag on it?
Oh no, God no. I am a huge Old Navy like fangirl because I am built like a tree, like a tree trunk, not a tree. I'm short. I'm only 5'5", 5'6", but I am built like a stump. So like I'm just very proportional throughout my whole body. Old Navy is the only place that I can comfortably fit my arms and my legs into either shirts and pants separately, not like my arms and legs into the same thing, but like they have consistently good like wide leg like pants and comfortable shorts that fit. Like I love Old Navy, but I wish that they would bring back the old style flip-flops because the new style is trash. And I wish that they would bring back the 4th of July family American flag t-shirts.
Do they not have them anymore?
Not really, no.
No.
But I just want it because it gives me such like Mormon family vibes, and it makes me because every year I remember my cousins are
okay,
and we were real like my family's kind of weird. So my mom has 4 younger brothers. It's just kind of weird.
Just gonna tell you and everyone watching.
Everyone. No, my family story is kind of strange. So like my mom has 4 younger brothers and my dad only has 1 younger sister. My mom and dad met and they got married. And then my mom's younger brother met my dad's younger sister, and then they also got married. So
This is a little circle.
yeah. I no, my parents weren't married yet. Maybe my parents were only engaged. And then my aunt and uncle. So anyways, my cousins and I share like the same set of grandparents. But then my uncle joined the Navy and he was indoctrinated into the LDS religion. And so we grew up really close because we shared both sides of grandparents. So we would end up sharing a lot of LDS traits.
Fair.
I am not a religious, but they've tried to they're like, you would be really great for this. And I was like, at the time I was like, I smoke too many cigarettes and like weed way too much for you. No God can rip these Camel Crushes from my fingers.
I mean, my question would be like, has God had a Pepsi? Because like a Pepsi is awesome.
Dirty sodas are no change than a caramel macchiato. So like you're not don't.
But then I thought they can't do Pep. They can't do the caffeine.
They can't do the caffeine. So
they're
like the biggest.
Yeah.
It's selective.
It's the caffeine is the thing
as most things are.
Yeah, it's the caffeine thing, but like anyways, I
mean, priests are supposed to be celibate, so that is a whole other.
Well.
There's the recommendation, and then now we're getting demonetized. No.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So going on that regard, is there one thing that millennials killed that really deserved to die?
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Binge drinking is no longer the thing.
Yeah, I feel like I not only timed my liver out of that, I timed existence out of that. So if I got one thing done right in my my 20s, maybe it was drinking all of the booze, so everyone younger than me needs to just switch right over into the weed. Which I gotta be honest, I'm perfectly okay with. I think we're better off. I think well, and I mean that's also like I get a little ragey whenever I see, oh, millennials killed it. No, it was a stupid thing. It wasn't something we needed. Like, oh, millennials killed paper boarding passes. Okay.
What?
Was that something you were deeply attached to?
We can't scrapbook them.
You can't shove them in your pocket. Or
millennials killed paper concert tickets. No, it was fucking Ticketmaster. What do you like? They just wanted to stop paying anything. Ticketmaster were like, what is the least we can do to take your money? Like, we want to do as little effort as humanly possible. We're going to send you a little, just a little digital file. And please let them into the show. And, luckily the ticket's only $190, but there's $497.26 in fees. So, but it's so convenient
your country is
for
doing
you.
something about them.
Oh, we're not though. We're not. So recently Ontario passed a law limiting resale prices on tickets. However, the biggest donor and backer to this legislation was Live Nation.
What?
Yeah. Something tells me they're gonna find a way around it.
I feel like the call is coming in from inside the house.
But Live Nation, they have always simply been a humble concert promoter, and all they exist is to bring the people exactly what they want. That is that if I ever if ever I get big enough for a like stadium tour, I just want you to know, Live Nation, I love you. I think you're amazing, and they're so mean to you. We should work together, though. I'm just saying.
If you're ever looking for new artists, I'm open to discussion.
So I have a niece who was born in 2006. So she just turned 20, and she's kind of at that age where she's like, what a time. Yeah, isn't that crazy? She's
the math is depressing on that.
Try having a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
good Lord.
Crazy. Yeah. So she asked me, because she's kind of at that age where like she wants to go out, and so she heard a hint that there were underage clubs. She was like, hey, I heard that there were underage clubs. Did you ever go to them? And I go, no, we just snuck into them. We knew the guy at the front door, and they said, go around back and sneak in. Here's the stamp. And that's good.
My first job was an illegal underground all ages club.
Yeah.
I live just on Queen Street in Toronto. And if you take the streetcar over to Spadina, literally I have a picture of me pointing up at the illegal club I used to work at. It's a I think they sell like fabric there now or something. I don't know. The shit they don't know about what went down in their little fabric store. They're probably happier. I hope there was cleaning done. Any fabric being put in that environment is just in immediate danger.
What was there was in Seattle? There was, what was that? Was it at Trinity? I think that was the club that would do like underage.
They would do like an underage night or like whatever.
It was like teenagers. It was like 15 to 18 or something, 16 to 18, or I don't know. It was 16 to 20. I don't know. It was an underage club, and it was just the weirdest thing. And you would hear like the adverts for it on radio, like 106.1. Be like, go to Trinity on Friday night, and blah 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 blah. Or like maybe it was on like Sunday. It was on some obscure ass day, and you were just like, who is taking their child
going
to Seattle? Because we lived across, so where we lived in Paulsbo, or like Washington, which is like across, essentially it's across this like inlet,
you have to take a
Seattle. Yeah. So we had to take a ferry to get from one side to the other. And it was like an hour and 30-minute ferry. There's no way on this earth that my parents, I'd be like, oh, can you take me to the ferry to drop me off so that I can walk to Pioneer Square alone? So that I can go to this club. And I want to go to the club when I'm 16 years old. My parents would fucking come into my room and steal my cell phone and be like, you were texting and it was 50 cents a text. Like, there's no way you could be like, yeah, man. Oh, no.
Oh my god.
What parent is like, this is a good idea? You talk about like inappropriate shit going down a Warp Tour. I can
Mhm.
only imagine. That's probably why we had those obscure health videos where it was like, don't take ecstasy or you're gonna die. You know? I was wondering, I
Yeah.
was like in health class, I'm like, where are people getting this? Like, where is this ecstasy coming from? It's coming from Trinity, the
Yeah.
underage club. I didn't even know. I thought that raves were a myth for the longest time because I
A
had no idea
myth?
that a myth. I didn't know that it was a real thing. I thought it was like fear mongering. Like the health class was like
Fear mongering?
like
Oh
scaring
my
you into
god.
not doing drugs.
Do
I
you
was like,
do they still have tent cities in the Seattle area? Okay, so
yes,
Yeah,
most of
unfortunately.
ours are shut down except for one.
Mhm.
And the one they literally I think they fund themselves by throwing dance parties at
That's
at
kind of
What?
cool.
the tent city on the beach. It's
Oh.
Okay.
the weirdest. It's so like, and you can see, you can like, they got lights and
Mhm.
stuff, and like the every once in a while the because it's actually in a relatively very nice area of the city,
Yeah.
just on the other side of a park. So the well-to-do are like, oh, good lord, we don't know what's going on here, and the police are just like, we can't, I don't know, we're we're pretty much out. Like, like they're
Yeah.
over there, and
Mhm.
yeah, we can't,
They've
we don't want to.
they've gotten rid of, I think, well, I don't want to be like they've gotten rid of them because the people are
Yeah,
now just displaced in other
yeah,
places, but like
Mhm.
they've pretty much like aggressively
yeah,
kicked people out.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
like
especially with the World Cup, like coming to Seattle, because I my day job, I say my day job as it's like it's so that I can have health insurance. So I work in downtown Seattle, and across from our building is what was formerly like an RV like
okay, yeah,
living situation, I guess. So a bunch of people who had RVs would live there, and it's a nice, like, quiet neighborhood. But this locking signs, like they patrol the lots. So they like cleared out all of that, and they spent so much money putting like cinder blocks in. So like you literally are like one car cinder block, one car cinder block, and it's like, wow, the beautification.
yeah,
This is beautiful. This is so nice. But they spent so much time, especially like in south of downtown, clearing out all of where did they
yeah,
go? Where are they go?
yeah,
Um, it's unfortunate that it happens, and it's happening more and more, especially because the cities we live in are very expensive. Um,
unbelievable, yeah,
but then, you have politicians saying things like, we're doing the best we can. Here's our project for 2023. And it's like,
yeah,
or 2030 or
yeah,
2050. Like, how is that solving anything now? It's not.
yeah. Well, and I live south, so I live south from where Collins lives. And there's just one we don't have I live more in like a suburban part of like Seattle area. Um and there's not a whole lot of that going on here, but there's a lot of like empty hotel buildings that could be
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
repurposed, but no one really wants to like fund that. During COVID, there was a shutdown hotel that they opened up as like an emergency facility. But they didn't
Mm-hmm.
properly do anything. They just like essentially opened the doors and like
yeah,
let people stay there. But also didn't like equip the heating properly or equip the water or the electricity. So they had to then shut it down because to keep warm, people were like starting fires inside of a Red Lion and like doing all these things. And you're like, well, you can't do that. And then tried to like play it off as like, well, they were all drug addicts and deviants, blah blah blah. But I think that like instead of putting such a negative like mindset on these communities that are literally just trying to survive, we should be using the facilities or the resources that we have. But again, that's a soapbox for another day.
I mean I had a guy on Threads who was like, "Well, are you a communist?" I'm like, "Well, actually, I'm a socialist." They're like, "Well, socialists are just communists who haven't figured it out." And I'm like, "It's cute that you're trying to mansplain my own political ideology to me. Thank you." Yeah. Oh, well, you're from Canada. It's a failed state. I'm like, really? Really? Yeah, you think things are fine there. I mean, we don't. Here's the thing. I haven't said where he's from. We all know. It's not a dude from Kiribati being like, oh, look at how off. No, he's American.
No, that's wild. That's wild, ride.
I'm assuming you have a number of American listeners. If anyone is concerned, we're fine. We lose hockey games all the time, and life goes on. We don't have a pedo in charge of our country, so I
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Collins, by the way, no, it's totally fine. You're not hurting anyone's feelings. We feel very similarly. We do not care. We lost Collins, but
she'll
be back. I'll ask you a question while she's here because
now I can't hear you.
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
Am I back?
No.
Oh,
I was gosh. Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yes. Can you hear me? I love this. This is so millennial coded. Can you hear me now? Millennial. I'm a millennial. Can you hear me? Hello.
Okay. So
can you hear me now?
I kind of want.
Good. Oh my god.
I have a question, and I would like to know, since we're a little obscure today, and we're a little all over the place. When we talked to Allison a couple weeks back, we talked a lot about like internet and like growing up in the early ages of the internet. What would you say was the weirdest thing that we collectively or even you individually accepted in the early internet that was like that we just accepted and moved on with our life when it came to early internet?
Buying ringtones. That was extremely and not even like I already have the song on iTunes, but I want to buy the shorter version that I can use when my phone rings. And apparently, for reasons I don't understand, they're different. I can't just use the beginning of. I think that was weird. Well, I think the fact that we ever paid per text message that was weird.
True. I will agree. I will agree with that.
But yeah, I think buying ringtones would definitely be my weirdest thing we just kind of accepted in the early internet. Although I love talking to younger folks, and they're like, well, you know, what were cell phones like when you were 10 years old? I'm like, we didn't have them. Like, it was attached to a string attached to the wall. You had to like if we crashed our bike, we had to walk up to a stranger's house, knock on the door, and be like, "Hey, do you mind letting me in to use your phone?" And they look at you like,
"What?"
Now the fact that they can pull their phone out, press a button, and have a stranger show up to take them in their car, that's fine.
I think about how like so I have two daughters. One is 16 and one is 6, 5
Oh
and a half,
Lord.
whatever. The 6-year-old, I swear I cast a spell and she just like came. Anyway, that's a different story for a different day. But having two very distinctively different age children it's very interesting because even their life experiences are so different than like when I was 16, and I clearly don't remember when I was 6. I don't even remember what like I did last week, so that's not even a thing. But I can just look on my phone for the location of my teenager and be like, "Oh, where are you? Oh, you haven't checked in with me. Let me check your location. Oh, you're just down the street." Like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I would take the bus home after school, junior high, high school. Well, junior high, because by high school, like we had cell phones. But like elementary school or middle school, we would take the bus home. We would walk from the bus to our house. Then I would call my mom on the phone to her work and call her bank. Like she worked at the bank. And I would call the bank and I would be like, Carrie, blah, 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 please. And here I am trying to like name drop my mom. I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then they would connect me to her office and she would be like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Mom, I'm home. And she's like, okay, do blah, 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 blah. And get dinner started. And then like, okay, bye. And then like, we would hang up the phone. And like, that was the level of security of anything. And now I'm like, I have like a Ring camera out front. I've got like location services on my kid. Like, yeah, it's
but yet there are some parents. Did you see the Netflix doc? It's pretty new. The Netflix documentary, The Crash.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I want to.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, the girl's parents. Like it's very good. And this doesn't really ruin much of anything, but the parents of the girl who was driving,
Mm-hmm.
they are detached from reality. Like the basis
of the story, right, Collins?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, long story short, it's like this teenage girl. She got into a car with what, two? It was two people.
Her boyfriend and a friend.
Her boyfriend and a friend. And they were driving. She was driving and she drove like 100. She was driving like 100 miles an hour and crashed into a building and killed the
two boys.
The two boys. And she's in prison.
And she lived?
Yeah. And so they did a Netflix docuseries like on the whole situation. Like,
okay, I'm watching this tonight.
Yeah, we want to watch it too.
100 miles an hour? And you said
the two parents, their 17-year-old daughter was living with her 20-year-old boyfriend, and they're just like they're being interviewed like, yeah, so we just thought she was mature enough to be living with her boyfriend, and I'm like, why did parents went in two drastically different directions? Because like you were saying, I mean, we had the free range parenting kind of thing, like there was a very low impact. Now, literally, I have friends who I'm like, they have air tags on their kid who already have Find My iPhone on the phone, but they're hiding the air tags in the shoes. But then other ones are like, yeah, our 17-year-old's living with her 20-year-old boyfriend and doing mushrooms, and that seems fine to me.
I was putting in boys' names as girls' names in my phone.
Yes, I do have like I have location services for my teenager, and I do in fact have an AirTag on my 6-year-old in her school backpack. But like, we live in some weird times, so I keep an AirTag in her backpack. She even knows about it. She's like, Mom, let me wear this watch. And I was like, no, girl, like we just leave it there for like security purposes.
Yeah.
And then, but I also, it's really weird because I feel like I'm a pretty like, I'm not overbearing. It's more of like, I get anxious, but not anxious in a way that like stops my kids from doing stuff. Like my parents, I grew up in a very strict lifestyle, and I don't want that for my kids because I want them to have autonomy and the ability to like have problem solving skills and like be able to make choices for themselves, healthy choices for themselves. But if they start acting a fool, then like mom and dad need to like step in.
Well, and I think you were starting to see, like, I remember when I graduated high school in 2003, I believe.
Yeah.
And went off to college, and there's differences between what college and university is here versus in the States. But I went to college. A lot of kids that I met were living away from home for the first time, and I found so many of them had never been introduced to like risk gradually. So like I know that my parents, like, they didn't speak about it, but like they would gradually give me a little more responsibility and see what I can do, because every once in a while I'd screw up, and then we go back down a little bit, and there we go. But like a lot of these kids just like literally like, hey, there you go. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was essentially when I turned 18, I was given two options. It was you can work and go to college and work solely so that you could pay for your own college and pay rent, by the way. Or you could move out. And those were the two options. And I chose to move out because it was, I'm like, anybody that works and goes to college, but also has to like work to pay bills. It's way too much, and my mental health can't handle all that. So I made his hand. Hi. I made the executive.
I literally said
uneducated.
I literally said, "Okay, how much is college? Can I do it across the United States? Okay, bye."
I also really in that concept, so I didn't.
That's true.
Do that. I should have, but I didn't understand it because I also grew up in a home where I was told that I was just going to be the beautiful wife and mother. Joke's on them. I didn't have a baby until I was 32. Anyways, sorry. I digress.
There is this little, like, it wasn't a smash movie or anything, but it wasn't small, called Accepted. And it's about I forget the name of the actor, but he doesn't get into school, and he like creates a school for himself. And there's a point where he's talking to his parents, and he's like, "Well, the average cost of university is $30,000 a year." Justin Long, there we go. Yeah. And someone without a university education could make $30,000 a year. So either you can spend $120,000, or I can make $120,000. What do you
Oh my god, that's a good movie. I have not watched that in a long time. Oh my god,
it is a great, like, I like take like far more gummies than really any human being should take, and just let that run in the background. Because the guy, and again, it literally is one of my like weird like things I can't do. Actors, singers, any celebrities, I don't know who anyone is. I look at them and I'm like, I feel like I should know who you are, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So there's a guy who plays the uncle in that movie, and he's actually a relatively well-known actor who's done a lot of stuff, and he plays this sort of crackpot who burned out of academia and just smokes pot in his airline trailer all day. I'm
Uncle Ben.
Yeah, and you're listening to him.
Lewis Black.
Lewis Black. There we go.
Yeah.
Lewis Black. He's a great comedian. And literally, I'm listening to him, and I'm like, you're making a lot of sense, brother. You're just I realized this is a parody, but I've been to post-secondary education, and it's nearly as much a joke as it's portrayed in this.
Amen.
There's so many movies that came out like during that time that you just sit and you're like, oh, yeah. I love this. This just gives you such a weird sense of nostalgia, and you're just like, oh, I love this. But you could not make this in 2025, 2026. No. What year are we? And I don't even know. You could not make this.
You can't make that last year.
Nope. Couldn't make it last year. Can't make it now. Speaking
the greatest...
of, okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
No. I was just gonna say one of the movies that popped up like when I looked up accepted on IMDb, hence why I knew those answers. It brought up Van Wilder, and I was like, Tara Reid was in that movie, and I was like, oh no. And then it made me think of how I saw, did I send that to you, Collins? She showed up at, I don't know what it was. It was like, I don't even know. She showed up recently in paparazzi photos, and I was like, who are you?
She looks very different.
Who are you? She does not look the same. Unfortunately, she had some really bad plastic surgery.
Anyways. That's unfortunate.
I was gonna say the best the best outcry, and I will never get over this one, is when Disney Plus put the old episodes of the Muppet Show on there to stream, and they threw a disclaimer in front of some of them, and people were like, "Oh my God, woke culture has gone too far. This is
yeah. They do that on Peter Pan too.
Have you watched the episodes they put that in front of?
Yeah.
It was there for a reason. I watched like 5 minutes into one. There's a sketch where Gonzo and his chicken girlfriend and all of the chickens are dancing in a Chinese food restaurant, and let's just say it gets extremely racially inappropriate very, very quickly. Like, there is a reason, and it's not wokeness. This wasn't okay then. It's not okay now. No, we're not. We're not even Song of the South here. There's not a discussion to be had about cultural awareness or anything. Yeah. It's just, this shouldn't have been made. This absolutely should not have been made. And I'm just like, it's so, because these people get out there, they're full heart. Like, what could Kermit ever do that could get him put a disclaimer in front of him? Like, I don't know, that wasn't. I think you're forgetting the fact that the Muppet Show was late night television, man. Like it. It was.
Yeah.
It was not. Yeah, we were watching it, but we shouldn't. We were also watching 90210 and some other shit we probably shouldn't have been watching either.
It's funny. So, my niece, who I mentioned, she and I love watching Friends, and even when she was like a younger teenager, I was like, just so you know, that don't listen to this. And she's like, I know what this is. And I'm like, oh, you should. How did I know? And I think we were talking about like some of the innuendos, and it's like, how did I? Some of those episodes, also, like, we cannot talk about them the way that they talk about lesbians because Ross got left for a lesbian, and like some of the comments and jokes that they made season 1, I'm like, you can't say that about lesbians or queer people or anyone. No matter if you got dumped by
No.
But that was 1994,
Yeah, it was.
That was like when we were talking last week about Wedding Crashers, because I was like, I have to, like, I need to relive this because one of my favorite quotes of all time is like, "Make me a bicycle clown." Like, we say it probably more times than we really need to ever, and I was rewatching this and I was like, oh my God, what is this? Or the fact that like I remember growing up watching all Adam Sandler films. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, like I didn't even know what the hell Nudie Magazine Day meant. But I knew how to sing that song. And I was like, why? Okay, but like, I didn't understand. Like, as a kid, I didn't really understand why he was like hallucinating seeing a penguin in a animal suit. But like, we knew that it was happening. Like, what? Like, this was appropriate. This was the
allegedly.
It was totally okay. Yeah, no. But you think about like movies nowadays, absolutely not. You could, and that's one thing that's kind of a bummer. I'm not saying like we need to bring back like making fun of queer people or like talking like poorly about minorities or like making jokes like that. But like, I wish that there was more humor. I feel like movies are either they're very serious or it's just like a copycat of something that's already been made, or they're remaking something. But I do have to say, adding in those, because it's in it, those like little snippets on Disney. It's on Peter Pan. It's on the Aristocats.
Yeah.
And it's on a couple other ones too. But I was like, Aristocats. I was like, why is it on Aristocats? And then I watched it and I was like, whoa. Like with the Siamese cast, like while they're like playing, and you're like, ooh, we shouldn't be doing this.
Oh,
yeah, we don't need like chopsticks and all that. No.
It's amazing though that again, it's like your brain goes back and just picks out the positive bits. Just kind of goes, that wasn't a good choice. Let's move on from that. But I do actually think that leaving the media available and putting the disclaimer is the way to go. Unless we're talking like unless it was made explicitly to be offensive. And I don't, and as offensive as that absolutely is in the Aristocats, I don't think they actually were like, oh, let's go make fun of Chinese influence. No, they were just for whatever reason that was okay at the time. But now we have to look back and go, but I don't think you throw out, because you lose the discussion about why, about how we came forward and progressed. So I'm all for it, because then it does allow you to have that conversation that parents have been telling us they want to have with their kids, or it will be uncomfortable. It's like, well, here, have the conversation. We don't want to do that.
Well, and that's about like, that's in the same context as like banning books or like banning media because it makes it uncomfortable. Like, you're having an uncomfortable conversation. From a personal thing, like I noticed that my younger, so I've both girls, both my kids are girls. And I was noticing that like my older one, or my younger one, sorry, my younger one was like, it's not that she was using negative body words or like body conversation. But I just don't want that. I mean, I have a fat body. I grew up in a fat body. Like, I don't want her to feel shame for whatever size body she has. Same for my older one. Like, I want them to like accept their bodies, but also to understand that not everybody is the same. And so instead of like ignoring that conversation and just being like, ooh, that's uncomfortable for me, like, I literally bought her a book. We sat down, we read the book, we had a conversation, and it was like, what she took from it, she was like, that girl's skin looks like the ice cream cone that she had. Yeah. Like, look at that. Cool. Like, it was the most obscure thing, but I think that some parent generations now, they were like, ooh, that would have been an uncomfortable conversation with like my parents, so I don't want to have that. Whereas like, we just need to have the conversation, because at the end of the day, it's usually us that's putting more context into a conversation. Like, if I talk with my 6-year-old about like queer families, gay families, mixed families, different color families, she's like, oh, that's cool. Like, and not saying like that's going to be her mindset, but like, she's just like, oh, they get 2 dads, like they get 2 moms, like they get, a mom with this color skin or that color skin. Like, those are the, like, she's not thinking like, ew, gross. She's just like, oh, but like, what about their mom or like parents that have passed away? Like, we have, like, it's just something that we should be talking about, but I think we get too uncomfortable with it. And like, we can't, because if we just put these like blankets over or put like these band-aids over because we don't want to be uncomfortable, like we're missing the opportunities. So I mean, I like that there's those notes now, specifically when it comes to like some culturally insensitive things, because we should be sensitive to other cultures, other races, everything. Totally. But we also have to remember that those were made during times where things were not like, were so different than what they are now. And there was a lot more stereotypical behavior portrayed than what needed to be, because white people think that they're superior.
So while we're on this topic, we're talking about mental health and everything. What are you more self-aware about now as compared to, when you were growing up in your teenage years, maybe your 20s, that kind of puts you more into perspective? Are you more self-absorbed? Are you more, aware? What goes through your mind?
I mean, I'm definitely more aware of my language, and how I use language and how it can impact others. That, and conversely, I care a whole hell of a lot less what others think about me.
Amen.
I think the combination of the two, of realizing that my words and actions can have impact on others, but then also realizing that their words and actions only have impact if I put the impact on them, has made life a lot more interesting and a lot easier.
It's interesting. As a teenager, I was so, not like I was so self-absorbed, but I was so contained in like, these problems right here, this is everything. Oh my God, I got, I couldn't emotionally regulate myself, also being on the spectrum. But like being removed from somebody's top 8 on MySpace literally like dysregulated me to the moment that I needed to like, I need to go to bed. I need to remove everyone from my top 8. I don't have anybody in my top 8. I have to leave. And now it's like, if like, do you ever like think about someone and you're like, I wonder how they're doing? You open up Facebook and then you like go to their profile and it says add friend and you're like, oh, I guess they don't want to see me anymore. And I just move on with my day. Whereas like 20 years ago, like I would be like, oh my God, someone removed me from their top 8. Like my entire life, my entire week is ruined,
I like to do that with exes. Because I
remove them from your top 8.
No. I like to sometimes like search them on social media and be like, what do you look like now? Because like I very much love myself. Like I go through days where I'm like, ooh, you're looking a little rough today. But like I love myself. I love my style. I like the way that I look. I like the way that I portray myself. Like I'm all around. I all around love myself. And sometimes I just want to see like, did you age well? Did you not age well? Like, or the popular girls from school, like popular people that we know. I like to like Google like, where are you in your life? Do I even remember who you are? Do you remember who I am? And then I sometimes get the shock of like, oh God, we're friends. Like, oh. You didn't even know. Or the shock of like, oh, why did you go that way politically? Yay.
Those were definitely red flags, and I was definitely wearing rose-colored glasses.
I was not paying any attention. But yeah, no, that's one of my favorite things to do is to like search up people that I used to know and be like, oh, I don't.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, mostly because so a girl that I work with in wrestling and had a really successful show with, she works for conventions, so she books talent, mostly like wrestling talent. I go and look and I'm like looking at her professional page and she's standing next to my ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend that I like had like that cheated on me, like did all these things wrong. I kept going back to them, like dumb life lessons of being 21.
Oh, your case.
And so
Sorry, that was an off-camera story.
Yeah, but
I appreciate the callback.
Yeah, that was great. But it's like, okay, I met these people. Like, I met Kimmy on a completely separate like wrestling sphere. This is my wrestling bubble. How the fuck do you know my ex-boyfriend? And she was like, yeah, I used to work with him at this place and blah, 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 blah. And like, I've remained friendly with his boss and whatever. And I'm like, that's fucking weird because this guy is my worst ex. Like, what are the chances of all the things of like, you meet all these different people on the internet and like my ex-boyfriend shows up. And I'm like, he's blocked on all social media. He stalks me on LinkedIn all the time because LinkedIn tells you who looks at your fucking profile. And I'm like, why the fuck? Like, am I getting a notification that somebody viewed your profile and then it shows my fucking ex-boyfriend? And I'm like, what is happening? Why won't you go away?
What is there on LinkedIn he's going to find out? Like, there's no juicy information on LinkedIn.
Is she still employed?
You still have a job?
Yeah, do you still have a job? I don't update. Like, I think I log into LinkedIn like every couple months, where it's like, You
I
know,
think I want a
just
new
want to,
job.
yeah, just want to like see what's out there. And I changed my last name after I got married, and so I changed it in all my like professional stuff. And it was like the moment I did that, I had two separate ex-boyfriends look at my profile, and I was like, "What? You need to know that my last name is now Martinez? Like, what is wrong with you?"
I think I don't know if I told you this or not, but like out of nowhere, I got a suggestion, and it was on Instagram and it was on YouTube, that for like my my high school boyfriend, like the one that was like the one that like thought was going to be, you know, when you're like dating someone in high school and you're like, we're gonna get married. That was like, so
My
anyways, I
entire
logged in.
life.
Yeah, my whole life is gonna be on this one person. That didn't happen. Log in Instagram, and it's like recommended friend, or you may know this person, and it was him, and I was like, ugh. And then I was on YouTube, and it was like suggested channel you may like, and it was his YouTube channel, and I was like, like no.
Oh
I don't want to follow you in
no!
your weird hunting stuff. Like, get out of here. Gross.
Oh
And it
no!
was like, I read the bio, and like, no hate, no shame, like whatever. If you like what you like that's
Yeah.
cool. But it was like just trying to make sure that my kids understand like hunting and fishing and blah 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 and are dated. And I was like, ooh, dodged a bullet. Ooh, gross.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. No, thank you. I should have known. I should have known back in the day when I said to this very specific person that I loved I loved Bambi, like I loved Disney. Bambi was a great like a movie for me, and he said
God.
like, well, this fall I'll make sure to get you your own Bambi.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Oh,
what does that
why?
mean? I don't. He was like, you'll be able to eat Bambi. And I was like, ew. No.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, never mind. I was like, but I also like Finding Nemo. He was like, yeah, I'm going to Alaska to go fishing. I'll bring home some salmon. And I was like, no. Anyways, I digress.
My dad's family is from northwestern Ontario, so there's a lot just north of Minnesota. So there's a lot of hunting and fishing, and like my family, we got moose and walleye and everything. And I prefer to think it comes in sausage form. As long as the moose is only in sausage form, we're good.
Yeah.
I don't need to consider it its previous form. Because I don't, and I love those guys. They'll be like, well, you realize someone slaughtered your food for you too, and I'm like, I mean, intellectually, I understand that. I know that I know that someone maintains the sewer on my street. There's a lot of shit I don't spend time thinking about. I just kind of expect it's going to be there when I need it. It's like another one that I don't understand is like people will get one thing and they're like one person saw online, oh, you're Canadian. And I forget even what the comment was that I made, but I made some comment mildly critical of the current political administration in the U.S. And he's like, well, do you know how you guys treated your and he used an outdated term for it, but we will say indigenous population. Do you know how you guys treated your indigenous population? I'm like, yeah, we're well fucking aware of it. Like, it's not the, and next you're going to tell me that Clinton is in the files too. We don't care. we don't care. It's not the gotcha that you think you've come across. Like I just I don't know how I got on that, but
Yeah.
have I mentioned I have ADHD?
Yeah, it's perfect. You fit in right in snugly with us. Uh-oh. What? Uh-oh.
Oh, did I
Where'd
go
everyone
away?
go? You did. You went away.
There we go.
Oh. Oh,
Sorry,
there you are.
I was being told that I'm yelling,
No, it's okay.
which does happen.
It's same. Um,
Sorry, I
So-
had to mute myself because my child was just walking along the porch by herself. And I was
oh,
like, "Oh, where are you? Where's your dad?" And he was close by, but I was like, "Oh no, oh God, my child." Anyways, sorry.
so I gotta know. So, what's healthier about younger millennials? So people younger than us, maybe us, as compared to elder millennials. Are y'all more traumatized than us?
What's healthier about the younger millennials versus the older millennials?
Yep.
Well, I think the younger millennials definitely got a hold of the mental health and the addictions treatment a lot earlier than we did. I think that I mentioned already alcohol is so much less a thing with the younger millennials than it ever was with, because I'm that is it okay?
Sorry, they're stomping around upstairs. I'm like, what is happening? I never heard that kind of like stomp noise. Sorry.
I've only had it happen to me on stage once. I haven't been doing stand up that long. But when something happens in the room and you don't know what's going on, but like everyone in the crowd is reacting, and you're like, okay, the standard response is for me to give a sarcastic piece of shit response. But there is an outside chance someone is actually having a heart attack in the crowd.
Oh,
So
no.
in this second here, I can't see, because the lights, you can't see anything.
Right, you can't see. Yeah.
So you're like, is everyone okay? Are you?
It sounds like somebody is doing cannonballs, but like to the floor.
Maybe it's
So you can hear like a jumping noise and then like boom.
Oh yeah, it must be Kid Weekend.
Yeah, it must be
Are
Kid
you-
Weekend.
Yeah.
Are you in like an apartment building or?
Yeah, I'm in an apartment building. Yeah. So
Do
I
you
have
ever-
people above me, people below me, people around me.
Do you ever get the sound that sounds like someone has dropped a bowling ball,
Yeah.
and then it just sort of like? Blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
It seems to be a universal experience in apartment and condo buildings.
Yeah.
And I know more about building operations than I probably should for a lot of nerdy reasons, but I don't know what the hell that sound is. And it's the same no matter where you go.
Yeah.
It's the boom boom.
What is it?
Like
I don't know.
A soccer
I'm
ball.
lost.
A basketball. A doll.
I
Who knows?
I live next to a very what I would say is like it's a couple that like they keep to themselves, but they are they are they're very regular with their extracurricular activities, so you hear it. And like if you are trying to like go to bed early, because their bed is up against the wall that we are, so I'll be like, relaxing with the dogs. Maybe I'm like trying to listen to a podcast or something, and I'll just like feel the reverb of the wall, and I just go, I need to get out of this room.
That's when you just like get your up against the wall and you're like, yeah,
I ain't doing shit like that, because if I have to park my fucking car next to them to be like, hey, good job getting some, I don't want them to know that I know Because what if they have to what if we have to talk to each other as neighbors, and I don't want them to be like, I can't talk to Collins because they know that we be fucking, I don't know.
We know.
We used to have a neighbor like two places ago, and it was just the most wild. So we had like a semi-detached house. So we were literally attached on one side to this person, and when we moved in, there was a guy who was living there, and his girlfriend and the girlfriend's son were staying there with him. And then on the other side was this other guy who was single, and he had a hot tub. And so they'd always be kind of like in the hot tub, the girlfriend, the dude, the other dude. We'd get invited sometimes, and I'd be like, that's a little, they were maybe 20 years older than us at this point, and we're kind of like, not so much my scene, but okay. And then one day the son of the girlfriend, his car is in the other driveway.
Oh.
And then he's taking stuff across our lawn into the other house. And then at a certain point, Ash goes, "Do you hear screaming?" And I'm like, I do. I hear screaming. Yeah. And I open the front door, and quite literally in our driveway is the dude from like our neighbor who owned the one house on the one side, and the son of the girlfriend, and the dude who owns the house is a bat. The son has a hammer, and they're just so. With me, in what I thought needed to be done this time was I had to go outside and close the garage so that like the car was. You need
to go sweep the lawn.
Yeah, you know, vacuum the.
So I closed it. I went back in the house, and like 5 minutes later, the cops show up. And at that time, my lore goes deep. At that time, I wanted to be a cop. So I was in school for police foundations. And the two cops who show up both know me. And I look at them and I'm like,
oh my God.
Okay, do you absolutely need a witness statement? Because if you do not, I didn't see anything. I don't know anyone. I wasn't even here. My house is attached to both of these places. This is going in a bad direction no matter what. God, I love neighbors. I absolutely love. We only have one. Well, yeah, we have sort of one neighbor now on this side of us, and he's this very nice Irish dude. Sorry?
What was the reason for the fight? I need to know.
I'm going to assume it had something to do with the relationship that she was in with the one guy, and the beginning of the new relationship with the other guy. Whether one ended before the other one started, or there was a disagreement about the one guy, the dude on this side, he had iguanas. So I don't know if the iguanas witnessed something in the relationship, that there was iguana trauma happening.
Oh my God.
They may have had to go for a court order for iguana therapy. I don't know.
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of, should we move on to?
Yeah, should we ask a millennial?
Boyfriends and friends? Should we ask a millennial?
Yeah, if you don't nudge me along, I will talk about nothing forever.
That's
I do not have an off button. They've attempted to find it. We used to. I tell one joke about how I was on Ritalin for about a month, and I don't know how it is in the States, but in Canada, when you were on Ritalin, because it is an actual controlled substance, you had to give your daytime pills to the school, and the school, the secretary. How the secretary is qualified as a dispensing pharmacy, I don't know.
She is not.
Yeah.
But you had to go down and you had to see her, and like a nice handy hint about me. I was in grade 8 at this point. I was already 6 feet tall and about 200 pounds. So I go down and I'm like, no, I don't want the Ritalin. And they're like, well, you have to take it. And I'm like, I don't like I'm 13. I still feel weird about threatening you physically. But I don't think you're going to achieve that outcome unless I'm compliant. And no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I feel that's a very millennial existence, very millennial experience. The early ADHD medication, which is for them, not you.
Yeah. I took so much that I told my because again, the nurse secretary or the secretary of the school was the one administering it every day.
Yeah.
And there was one day that I said, I don't want to take it. I'm boring. Nobody. I don't get to tell any jokes when I'm on it.
Yeah.
And she looked at me. She goes, you're not at school to tell jokes. You're here to be bored.
Rude.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm here to be boring. Sorry.
I sometimes wish that I had those experiences because I was just in fact told that I was too sensitive. And that maybe if I focused a little bit better, then I would have better attention span. But now I go, ha ha ha, joke's on you. But I have to be mostly unmedicated because medicine makes me crazy. So I have learned to live off of it. It's okay. Anyways, let's move. No.
Yes, let's ask a millennial. Let me do this first story. So this first story is coming from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. It is Am I the Asshole for canceling my trip because my friend is choosing to give her son a vacation at my expense. Okay. All right. So
I think it's always important to like put a qualifier in now. I'm gonna go with not the asshole, purely based on the headline.
Yeah, exactly.
I reserve the right to change my opinion later at any point, but I'm going not the asshole.
Yeah. All right. So a couple months ago, I asked a friend if she wanted to go to an event with me. This required 2 nights in a hotel and a special ticket for the event, as well as 8 hours of driving. We were driving separately and staying in our own hotel rooms. 7 days before we were supposed to leave for the event, she messaged me, asked if I minded that her son, 11 years old, came. I said I did, as I was looking to have a child-free trip, which I had thought was perfectly clear given the fact that for months, no children were included in the plans. The fact that children were not attending had also been verbally acknowledged by both of us, even if we did not explicitly say it was kid-free. I honestly can't remember if that specific phrase was used. It was my understanding that she would be leaving from our trip straight to another vacation spot to meet up with her family, again implying that children would not be in attendance. The response was that her husband had already purchased a ticket for the child, and she hoped we could still hang out. I informed her that in case I would not be attending. After this, I was accused of not caring about the friendship because I wasn't willing to spend a few hours with her child. She didn't understand what the big deal was because her child is well behaved. To be clear, I think both of her children are wonderful. They are kind and thoughtful, well behaved children, and my own kid loves spending time with them. I would have loved to plan a trip with all the kids. That just wasn't the trip that this was. For me, the issue is that it completely changes the dynamic. I'm a fairly straight laced person, so it's not like I was going to be wildly inappropriate, but the experience will obviously be different with a child in the mix. To be clear, I would feel similarly if it was a third adult being thrown into the mix last minute, as that also changes that dynamic. I'm also spending about $600 driving 8 hours, leaving my own child, 7 years old, at home with my mother to attend this event. The last few hours of the event ring in my 35th birthday. So, is she the asshole?
No.
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 And that
And
like,
I don't.
No, you're the guest. Please, you go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll give my parent 2 cents after.
I was gonna say, like, I don't want to disagree with the original poster here because obviously she has her opinion on her friend's kids. I don't know anyone who doesn't think their kids are fantastic.
Right.
And I disagree with many of them. Because proximity to the creation of children tends to have a halo effect on your opinion of their behavior.
Right.
No. I will I can okay, so like my feeling on this is no, I don't think that she's the asshole because if they've been planning this for months and she's under the impression they both have kids, I get this.
Yeah.
The post OP is under the impression that it's going to be a child-free situation, which like in a lot of cases, I will tell you. Sorry, there's a cat here on my glasses. It's driving me up a wall. Okay, so I have three cats. One of which is never in here, and she's the one that is snuck under the bed, and she's like, "I'm here now," and has like sat next to me this whole time. Yeah, but anyways, but she's the furriest one, and like her fur gets attached to my face. Anywho, so like if I'm planning a trip, I'm planning a trip with one of my friends, and it's going to be a child-free situation, and then last minute, she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to bring my child." Like, if there was a situation in which there was like an emergency, and she was like, "I have to bring my child," like. But this is actively just like assuming that it's okay to bring her 11-year-old because they're a well-behaved child. I have 2 kids and I have 2 very like my kids are good kids, but like they're not good all the time. I don't have the halo effect does not exist here. I can understand that kids can be shitty and it's just they're developing, their brains are developing.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen and it's going to be a thing. But like I also will need a break sometimes. As a parent, you need a break, and it's healthy to need a break. So I think that it's super inconsiderate, and I think that the friend is the asshole solely for the fact that like she should have communicated to OP about saying like, "Hey, my kid really wants to go to this event. Like, would you mind if he tagged along?" Because doing adult things with adults only is very, very, very different than doing adult things with having a kid with you. Like, there's time limit. When you're doing adult things, you have an adult time limit. When you want to be done, you're done. When you have kids that are tagging along, you're done when they want to be done.
Yeah.
And most of the time that's not when you want to be done.
when you're learning how to do stand-up comedy, one of the things that they tell you apart from being on stage is they talk about sort of monitoring the crowd as they come in, listening. One of my favorite and least favorite things to hear is a group of parent-aged adults, and one of them
Mhm.
goes, "All right, we got a babysitter tonight." Oh, that's going in one of two directions, and either way, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because
Mm.
I got no kids. I have all the
Right.
respect in the world for parents, but I know when you get out there on a night out without the kids, it's party time. We understand.
Woo! Oh my
I'm
god.
tired. I'm
I'm saying
tired.
that
Give me
was
like
that was always
a
the fun part of
sushi night,
working. Yeah.
and maybe a movie, and we're good. Like, nah, I don't need that crazy life.
Yeah. That was the fun part of working in the service industry is because people would come in and be like, "We have a babysitter tonight." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, so an extra shot?" So 2 extra shots? Do you wanna do more shots? Like,
I
let's get
don't get
fucked up.
that. I don't get that. Like, as a parent, because like, just because I got
Yeah.
a babysitter tonight doesn't mean that my child isn't going to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow and want to be like,
Not my
Mom, let me tell you my
responsibility.
dream. Mom, do you know
Yeah.
what I had a dream about last night? Mom, you said that we could have ice cream. Like, we can have ice cream right now. Mom, like, no.
Well, see, that's the thing, it's like,
Anyways,
even with, like, a well-behaved child, that's still, like, an extra person that depends on you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I
That
don't
means
know.
you're
Like,
not
I could
relaxing.
understand if it was like, "Hey,
Mm-mm.
we're going to, like, you know, I don't know, going to, like, a concert that has general admission," and it's like,
Yeah.
for in your same town, let me take my kid. Okay, like, ruins the vibe, but it's like, this is an event of, like, going somewhere for 8 hours, like, getting a hotel room, like, if any one of my friends sprang that on me, I'd be like, "You're not my friend." Because why the fuck would I want to do that? You know?
Well, and also you can very easily end up the unwitting babysitter in situations
Yeah.
like this. We went to a destination
Yeah.
wedding years ago,
Yeah.
and we did this like as a group. The whole wedding party went out on this
Mhm.
catamaran. People are snorkeling, they're drinking, I'm drinking, I'm snorkeling. All of a sudden, my wife and I look at each other. We're like, everyone else is somewhere, and the the kid is just here. Are we like are we responsible for keeping this
Who are
alive
these?
at this point? Like I don't I made my choices very
Yeah.
specifically not to put myself in charge of one of these because I should barely be in charge of one of these. Uh, and
You're
now
like,
I'm in
now I'm
Mexico
here.
on a
Yeah.
catamaran with someone's
Mhm.
kid. How did this happen?
This sounds like
Uh,
what is his name? The guy that does now I've lost it. This sounds like a Dateline episode.
oh
Like
no.
60
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Dateline.
To catch a
Catch a
predator.
no.
predator.
Oh
I mean,
no.
speaking in that term, like my older sister turns 40 this year, and so to like celebrate her birthday, my mom and her like planned this whole, they're going to Mexico, they're in Mexico right now, blah 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 blah. And they were like, "Oh, the whole family's invited." And I was like, "Okay,
Mm.
cool. So you like you want us to go?" And they're like, "Oh yeah. You just have to like buy your airfare and pay, obviously pay for your resort and your
Yeah.
airfare." And I said, "So you want me to go to Mexico so that I can be in a tropical place, but also still have to watch my children? That's not vacation for me. That's not." "Well, you can just put them in like the
Mm.
child care." And I was like, "So you want me to put my child in daycare so that I can relax on my Mexican. No, that doesn't sound like a vacation to me. No thanks,
Oh my
friend.
god.
And I'm like, but they're also in school, and it's like, oh, well, you could leave them at home. And I was like, what? No, that's
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. I don't think that she's the asshole, and
No.
it kind of sucks that she had to cancel her trip. But like,
And why do I feel like they were going to Warp Tour? I don't know.
I think they were going to like con, like Comic Con
circle here.
I just
Oh
well,
my god.
and what made me
maybe
think
that's what
that
it was,
is
like a con. Like a
the number
convention or
of people when they did Warp Tour in Orlando. The number of people who like came to Warp Tour, and then like the rest of the family came down to do the Disney World thing. I'm like, I see how this is happening here. I
Yeah.
understand. And the dad, maybe the dad was like, oh, I can just pawn the kid off, and then I can do whatever I want on the airplane. I don't know. I can be the next guy. You ever see I think it was Twitter where it eventually it broke out that like there was this woman sitting next to this guy on a flight, and like he was openly texting his mistress and being like, oh, like like literally this woman sitting next to this dude like creep shotted a picture and is like, hey, if this is your husband, he's on
Oh
my
my
flight right now
god.
Yeah. I
talking to
remember
some
that.
other woman about meeting where they're going. So he's not going to a conference. Like you
Oh, I
got
remember this. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This person with the 11-year-old at Warped Tour is watching this all go down on Twitter like, oh shit,
Oh
my
my
husband.
god.
I feel awful. I don't even know this husband. And I've already created a world in which he's cheating on his wife. Like I mean,
Oh
men
my
already have a hard enough
god.
time. I don't know why I'm giving him a hard time now.
Mm-hmm. I love
That
it.
was
I
sarcasm.
love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Natalie, do you want to read our second story?
Yes. So the title of this one is Am I overreacting? So it's from the Am I
Okay.
Overreacting subreddit. It says, am I overreacting for believing my friends should not go to my ex's birthday party? Weigh in.
I'm going with a preliminary overreacting. I think this is a preliminary overreacting.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Okay. I will read this and we will see. I have broken up with my ex a good 8 months ago. He used to be sweet and then became an absolute a-hole with me, insulting me and saying I deserve to lose all of my friends. Old story, nothing to do with the ones in the story I'm about to tell. Said very bad words to me, etc., etc. He was clearly mean with me since the end of our relationship. He was clearly mean with me and since the end of our relationship, and admitted that he wasn't nice during either. The wording on that is very messy.
Yeah.
I'm in a group of 7 girlfriends, and they know my ex through me, so some of them got close to him, but distanced themselves since I told them about what he's said to me. My ex wholeheartedly believes that they think I've done things wrong with him and that I'm the one who should apologize to him, even though my friends have told me it's not true and they never said that to him. It's very confusing. However, they recently got invited to his birthday party and are planning to go. I'd honestly feel betrayed if they did, and I don't know if I'm rightfully feeling like that, or if I would be the asshole to tell them about my feelings and ask them not to go because it makes me uncomfortable. I know that them coming to his birthday will only convince him that he's right and that my friends really believe that I'm in the wrong. That's very interesting. So, long story short, if you didn't hear that, this girl was dating this guy. They broke up 8 months ago. She said that he was really mean, said a lot of mean things to her, was very hurtful, and that she has a group of 7 girlfriends, and they're all close to her ex. Close enough that they like that her ex thinks that like has told them that she's the one that's been this is messy.
Yeah, I think everyone sucks here.
Yeah, I think everyone sucks as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because I usually pull things where
it says in terms of going to an ex's birthday, it would be a yes. With the context given, not overreacting.
Yes.
Yikes. Oh, so, and then someone said, how old are you? And OP says, I'm 18.
Oh,
babies.
Yeah.
Baby.
Let's.
These are not your friends.
Yeah.
Get new friends.
One of them's gonna date him, then they're gonna break up. Like it's this is
gonna hook up with someone.
Throw the whole friends out. Throw the whole friends out.
So
just reset the whole system.
So I chose this because this happened to me. This isn't my story, obviously, but something similar happened to me where like all of my friends and everyone that like we built our everything around. When we broke up, everyone took his side, and it was one of those things of. They were telling me how shitty I am and how I need to go to therapy. And like, he just was like, you took things out of perspective. And when he was like, what I perceived as like disrespect was just like him being a guy or like, that's not how and regardless if that was the reason or not, it's like, okay, but if I feel this way, if I feel neglected, if I feel like he does not give a shit about me, why would I stay with him? Even if you think, oh, he's just a guy, he doesn't look at his phone or like those things aren't important to him. So like if he doesn't want to go to a wrestling show with you or he doesn't want to go to like a baseball game with you, like that's like, you should get other friends to do that. Like that's not his job. And it's like, well, I don't want to have a partner like that, but could I have been approach it differently? Could I have been more softer? Could I have been this? Sure. But it was like 5 people telling me all the time how like, oh my God, you let a good one go away and blah, blah. And it's like, okay, you guys are not my friends because my best interest for myself is like, I'm the only one who knows my best interest for myself. So if you're sitting here going, you made a bad choice. I was still 20 and like, these were my everything. These were all of my friends, but guess what? You can find new friends.
You can and you will.
You can't even.
Yeah. I've in almost all circumstances at this point, I'm just like, now that, and this actually, as we were talking about differences between younger millennials and the old folks like me, all y'all younger millennials are just like, okay, well, we had a fight, block, and cut. And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't think you understand. I am in my 40s. I have fought at some point with everyone I consider to be my closest human being to me. And the fact that we worked on it and got through it has made the relationship what it is. But at this point, you're like, well, I wanted to go to McDonald's and he wanted to go to Chick-fil-A, so we don't talk anymore. I'm like, what?
Okay.
Like, okay, you couldn't like, go to the mall and both get what you want.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't know what the mall is anymore. There's
no mall.
There's no mall food court.
There's no mall food court. You don't have that
That was
anymore. You can't
wasn't
get
the
McDonald's
mall.
at the food court anymore.
The mall was the greatest shit in the world. The mall, and then
Mm-hmm.
during the time I was like malling as a kid, we had this thing called Rainbow Cinema. So like we had Cineplex and we had Famous Players were the two movie chains in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and they bought each other and then got out of a bunch of the leases in the malls. So this company called Rainbow Cinema popped up, and it was like $1.50 for a show. So like all of the high school kids would go and see Rainbow Cinema because you could get it for a fraction of the price and
Mm-hmm.
bring in your food court, your Taco Bell and shit, and just have a lovely day when you're supposed to be in English class.
There's still one open, by the way.
A Rainbow Cinema?
Yep.
Oh,
In
Really?
cool.
Coburg, Ontario.
Oh, Coburg. I knew that. You know what? My mom's
In
from
the
Coburg, Ontario.
Northumberland Mall.
Yeah,
I
I've been
love
to
it.
Northumberland Mall.
To be fair, you can go into any movie theater now and they don't give a shit what you bring in. Like you
No.
used to be like,
You can bring in
I always
pasta
carry this
and a
big of a
bag.
purse.
Yeah.
Like I always do. Now they're like, you're coming in here, okay, please bring whatever you want. We don't care.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
We're happy
We're
you
not
paid for a
sneaking
ticket,
nothing
man.
in. Yeah, we're happy.
Listen,
We're happy. We're happy to pay for a
1750
ticket.
pretty steep of a price, you know?
It is.
You
It
can bring in that.
really.
You can bring in that Taco Bell. You bring in whatever you like. Just come in. Just put your butt right in that seat.
Mhm.
Also, just as a side note for movie theaters, kids like even now there's some movie theaters that obviously are still like this, but like my youngest will never truly understand the fully like having to sit in a stadium style seat for a full movie. I took her one time. I'll never do it again. Never again.
Oh no.
Never again. Only recliner seats going in our
Yeah.
life. We only recliner seats.
Amen.
Mostly for me.
Yeah, I can't do
Mostly
it.
for me.
I can't do the general admission
Stadium.
seating. I want the
Sucks.
couch. I want my feet to be
Yeah.
put up. Ideally,
Yep.
I
I
want
want to
my
fall
food
asleep.
brought to me. You
Yep.
know, if I
I want to
can
almost
drink,
fall
if I can
asleep.
get a beer, like that's
Yeah.
even better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cinemark.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Anyways.
we've come to the end of our show.
Thank you for joining us today.
I've had
Absolutely.
so much fun.
I had a blast.
Uncle Mike, tell us where we can find you on the social media webs.
So you can find me. My at is at it's Uncle Mike B, and the B is BEE, like a buzzing bee. Or if you search for MikeBryck, that's me. You'll probably, I don't know what my profile picture is now, but my bio talks about being a comedian, having ADHD. I don't know. I'm probably I might be doing funny stuff at some point. So you can also check out, if you are a Disney adult, you can check out the podcast I co-host called Sharing the Magic, where we interview, we try and find a little deeper cuts as far as people who worked in the Walt Disney Company. We've talked to some cast members, we've talked to some folks who did some behind the scenes stuff. We spoke to the voice of Goofy, which was really fun. Yeah, we've gotten some really great voice actors on there, and that was fun. We had an artist called Tom Matushik, who does Disney fine art. He was a lot of fun to interview. So that's called Sharing the Magic. You can find that wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. Where you listen to your podcasts. Come come and share the magic with us.
I love that.
Sorry, I had to go podcast voice for a second there.
I love it. I love it. I wish I had one of those because I just definitely just talking to this microphone at any volume that like my excitedness goes. I'd be terrible.
One of my first sort of mentors for stand up had to like beat the podcast voice out of me on stage. He's just like, you can't, like, you can't, like, I'm like, I'm just emoting. He's like, nope, like, your voice. You need to use your voice. I'm like, I don't even understand.
My radio voice comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your radio voice comes out like during our intro, and I'm like, maybe I need to sound more like that. And I'm like, Natalie, this is how I
radio voice.
Hey, I was just impressed y'all do it live, man. Most of the time you're clicking a button and it's like, hey, welcome to the podcast. And come back with us and hey.
Every week it's different. It's never the same.
It's not AI and it's live. That's fantastic. Those are that's the criteria at this point. It's done by a human and done live. And no what?
No cuts. No cuts.
No cuts.
No edits.
No AI. No nothing.
No cuts, no edits. We just let it all fly. It's all here. Well, you can find me at Natalie Christina at Instagram or on TikTok. I'm really bad at posting, but I've been trying to more often. So, anyways, what about you, Collins? Where can we find you?
You can find me anywhere there's social media _queer auntie. I'm on Instagram, TikTok sometimes, Threads. On Threads this week, I was bullying mega church pastor Mark Driscoll, so that was a lot of fun. So
Mark Driscoll.
find me anywhere. I'll be trolling and. Don't take yourself too seriously. And that you can always find us over at Peak Millennials Pod over on Instagram. We're posting all kinds of fun things throughout the week, so you want to join us there. But y'all, this is going to be all new next week. It's going to be a new set, new everything.
So excited.
We're going to be having a lot of fun. But don't take yourself too seriously. And have a great rest of your week.
Have a good week.